Hello, it's the Month's End. I'm Mark Grimshaw, and this is the Month's End with Mark Grimshaw, a comedic look back at the biggest news in January. In the news this month, Oppenheimer became the most nominated film at the Oscars with 13 nominations, and that was somehow still only the second biggest news story this month involving Hollywood and bombing. Many young adults have been worried at the possible return of conscription to fill holes in military staffing should Britain go to war. I'm not worried though. I'm autistic. We're not allowed to join the military for medical reasons. I suppose it makes sense, like it probably wouldn't be useful having a soldier on the front lines who can't hear their commander's instructions because sensory overload from the artillery has made them put ear defenders on. Like, you don't want to hire someone who might accidentally shoot a superior because they started playing with a gun trigger as a fidget toy. To be honest, I'm too socially awkward to fight my own battles, never mind fighting one for the UK government. Here's what else has been in the news this month. Children's Health Minister Andrea Leadsom claimed that 3 years old is 4.5 years too late to teach a child how to brush their teeth. I'm not certain how you're supposed to get a toothbrush to an unborn child, but I'm pretty sure that that's not what dentists mean when they say open wide. The traditional New Year's Eve fireworks were set off in London. References to the anniversary of the NHS, the Windrush generation, the anniversary of equal marriage, and a celebration of gay pride led some Conservative commentators to declare the display fireworks. Surely it can't be a surprise to them that a firework display would be gay, though. Like, fireworks are essentially just yassified bombs. In fact, I'm surprised right-wingers didn't enjoy it more. They normally love millions of pounds of explosives being detonated from over the heads of civilian populations. This week saw the unveiling of a portrait of King Charles, seen here asking, does my prostate look big in this? There's an £8 million budget to have the portrait framed and displayed in public buildings such as courts, schools and government offices across the country. Obviously, £8 million sounds like a lot of money to most of us, but to be fair to the royal family, that is nothing. Like, for them, it's not even enough to buy the silence of one victim. Queen Margaret II of Denmark announced she'll be abdicating the throne, passing on the responsibility to her son, Crown Prince Frederick, on January 14th. And you know what? Fair play to her. If I'd quit a job and I knew my replacement was already lined up, not a chance would I be working my 2-week notice period. Then again, I suppose it is much easier to stay working when your only real job responsibility is staying alive. Like, let's be honest, that is a job that anyone could do. Almost anyone could do. This year is an election year in the UK, and we're bringing you all of the biggest stories in the build-up in our new recurring segment, Election 2024. Whoever wins, we lose. It's been a big week for the Liberal Democrats, as Ed Davey has gone from wishing everyone knew who he was so the party stood a chance in the election, to wishing nobody knew who he is so the party stand a chance in the election. Ed has been criticised for his role in the ongoing post office scandal, for not taking action when Horizon issues were brought to his attention when he was the postal minister under the coalition government between 2010 and 2012. But honestly, I don't think that's news. I think it would be more noteworthy if a Liberal Democrat had achieved anything during that time. The Lib Dems should probably just be glad they now have a leader with some public awareness. Like, their former leader, Jo Swinson, was so unnotable that in the last election, even her own constituents forgot who she was. In fact, you also forgot who she was, because that picture isn't her. That's a stock image that came up when I googled middle-aged white woman. Meanwhile, Rishi Sunak has been hard at work in Parliament, trying to convince people that the Tories' inherently flawed Rwanda immigration plan can be saved. It's weirdly fascinating watching Rishi trying to fix what is clearly irreparably broken. Like, it's a man with all the authority of someone turning up to 9/11 with some gaffer tape in order to restore the World Trade Centre to its former glory. Joining me live from Kigali to discuss all of the developments in the immigration plan is my Rwanda correspondent, Hev Clift.
Hello, Mark.
Hi, Hev. Sorry if I'm wrong, but it doesn't look like you're in Rwanda right now.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm at home.
I mean, we'd sorted your flight to Rwanda, so why?
Well, given how much money the government has spent on this failed scheme, I just didn't want to be the first person successfully forced to actually go to Rwanda as a result of it.
I mean, I suppose that's fair enough. I just thought it'd be good to get some views from people actually over there.
Well, there's nobody been sent over there, and there definitely won't be. That's kind of the point.
Oh, obviously, I meant to get the views of, like, Kigali residents, maybe speak to a spokesperson from the Kigali government.
I have to say, I'm somewhat astonished by the speech of the show's anchor, who cannot even get the name of the country right, talking about the Kigali government when we are talking about Rwanda, a respected country that has recently been president of the Commonwealth.
Maybe I need to get a Rwanda correspondent that actually knows what they're talking about. Thanks, Hev. This year is also the US presidential election, and we're bringing you as much coverage as we can understand. Let's be honest, it's a long and weird process. What even is a caucus? In our recurring segment, Decision 2024, United States of Armageddon. Yes, this year, genocidal Joe Biden and dictator Donald Trump are both somehow still alive to fight against each other for the keys to the world's most famous nursing home. Donald Trump got his first taste of victory this week, beating his fellow Republican hopefuls to win the Iowa caucuses. To secure victory, Donald Trump had to rely on evangelical Christian voters. And to be fair, it makes sense that Christians would like Trump, as he does have a lot in common with the Bible, in that he's full of lies, and 90% of the time can be found in a shit hotel. Side note, thanks Gideons, I did not want to use that top drawer conveniently located right next to the bed anyway. In his victory speech, Trump presented this message of unity.
And I really think this is time now for everybody, our country, to come together. We want to come together, whether it's Republican or Democrat or liberal or conservative. It would be so nice if we could come together. I want to make that a very big part of our message. We're going to come together. It's going to happen soon, too. It's going to happen soon.
Well, either it was a message of unity or he's planning on recording another video in a Russian hotel. This week saw hundreds of pages of court documents relating to dead sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein be publicly released. Amongst the most shocking revelations was the reveal that Stephen Hawking allegedly participated in an underage orgy on Jeffrey's private island. Now, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I think I finally agree with right-wingers that disability representation has gone too far. It is quite weird, though, now Stephen Hawking has been implicated, that the easiest way to turn Trump supporters, a group who clearly don't care about sexual assault allegations against Epstein, is to tell them that he's gone woke. Like, what? Jeffrey Epstein's plane has disabled access ramps? What a virtue-signalling prick. Palace insiders have claimed that the Queen was upset at Harry and Meghan's decision to call their child Lilibet, with an aide claiming that she said, "The only thing I own is my name, and now they've taken that." Which is a very bold statement to make when you are literally called Queen Elizabeth II. Sorry, were literally called Queen Elizabeth II. Joe Biden bypassed Congress to approve a $147 million weapons sale to the Israeli government as they continue their slaughter of innocent civilians in Gaza. This comes at a time when he's also trying to push a bill through Congress to provide $14.3 billion in military aid to Israel and $9.1 billion in humanitarian aid to be split between Ukraine, Israel and Gaza. Which, I don't know, giving massive military aid to Israel while simultaneously providing a tiny amount of humanitarian aid to Gaza feels a bit like taking a hit out on someone you've never met and then sending them a gift hamper to apologise for the inconvenience. Like, oh, I'm sorry I'm funding someone to kill you, but here, have a cheese board. Joe Coy was criticised for his monologue at the Golden Globes, particularly for misogynistic jokes about the Barbie movie and Taylor Swift. His misogyny was such old-fashioned material, I was half expecting him to follow it up with a routine about airplane food. Of course, if he had, Taylor Swift wouldn't have got it, because she flies everywhere in a private jet. With Taylor's carbon emissions, the way things are going, in a few years' time, it'll be less Golden Globes, more orange and smoky. See, Joe Coy, even without being misogynistic, you can roast Taylor Swift, just like her plane roasts the planet. On Thursday, a man was arrested after shots were fired at a cinema in Liverpool on Wednesday night. The cinema was put into lockdown, which after the last couple of years, I assume means they were allowed outside for an hour of exercise during the situation. Yep, as if this format didn't feel outdated enough as it is. There's a lockdown joke in 2024. Nobody was hurt and nothing was stolen during the incident. Quite impressive, really, to have a situation involving someone brandishing a gun and still having the only theft occurring be on the concession stand. To be honest, if I was put into lockdown for an hour in a room playing Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, I think I'd take my fucking chances. Saturday night saw nostalgia take over our TV screens, with Gladiators, The Weakest Link and Wheel of Fortune all airing. I hope they make a Christmas special of Wheel of Fortune, with exactly the same format, except all of the clues contain no L. In an interview with the Upfront podcast, former Olympian and current World Athletics President Sebastian Coe claimed that female Olympians would never win a gold medal again if they had to compete against trans women. This year marks the 20th anniversary of trans people being eligible to participate in the Olympic Games, so with Seb Coe's words in mind, let's take a quick look back to remember all of the trans women who have won gold medals in that time. Maybe he's exaggerating. Let's try silver medalists. bronze? How about trans women who actually finished their event they were in? How about? And finally, a new recurring segment called It Writes Itself. These are the stories where I've had to do literally zero work because the punchline is provided by the facts. Detectives launched an attempted murder investigation in Derry after shots were fired through the window of a house on Saturday evening. Nobody in the house at the time was injured during the attack. And I'm going to be honest, if you're going to attempt a difficult murder and fail, I can't think of anywhere more fitting than, and this is genuinely true, Ardkill Road. That's it for this week's show. If you enjoyed it and would like to financially support it and help it grow, you can donate now at ko-fi.com/Mark Grimshaw, and all money will be used to improve the show. I actually asked an AI what it would look like if this show had a budget, and this is what the prompt British comedian big budget comedy news show brought up. That's the future right there. Much like Joe Coy at the Golden Globes, I only had a week to prepare for this, so if you didn't enjoy it, blame the writers. Fuck. That's it for this month. Join me next month when I'll be covering the news of February. I know, what an unpredictable episodic structure. I've been Mark Grimshaw. See you next month for more Month's End.